All right, art students, welcome back to the drawing table. And today we got a really good, important lesson. This is for you beginners that are trying to draw, but you continue to fall short of drawing. I'm going to break it down, and I say that in all of my videos, but I'm going to really break it down because I start and then I always kind of go off track. But in this one, I'm going to break it down, and I've got this picture of He-Man. I searched around for a picture that has basically what I really need, and this is the best one that I've found yet. So if you've been with me before, or let's just say this might be your first time, I teach you how to draw the anatomy. I teach you how to do comics, but I teach you the anatomy first because that's one of the major things in comics is drawing anatomy. And I teach you how to take each part and I break it down. Let me show you this first. All right, so everyone can draw. This is the book I'm going to show you. Let me show you this first. These are the parts of the body. These are just parts of the body. If you look at them, there's just shapes. Everybody can draw these shapes. Everybody can draw a square, circle, and a triangle. No problem with that. So I break it down to its easiest point, and then I have you put it together. This page is coming apart. And then I have you put those shapes together, add a little bit of curve to it, and then you have the anatomy. But if you can do this, then you can draw any position. You just have to know where to put one of those shapes. So this is the same thing. It's just that the shapes are moved and then you add some curve to it. So we're going to draw this, but I'm going to draw this in its simplest form using those shapes first, and then I'm going to show you how to add the curve to it and then potentially move it. Like you might have a character that you like, that you want to draw, and you like this position, but you might say to yourself, I don't want this hand so high. I want to bring it lower. I want to put this a little higher, or take this sword and bring it to the front, or bring it to the back, or not have a sword in his arm or in his hand. So that's when you just take the simple parts and then you put them in a different place. As I said, drawing is just taking the shapes and turning them, twisting them, bending them. Yeah. So let's get started with this in simple basic shapes. So most of us, when we first learn to draw, or first want to learn to draw and start drawing, we look at pictures, and that's how we do. Some of us trace, which is a good thing because I used to trace just to get the form of the shape before I learned how to take it apart and put it together again. So the first thing we do is you're looking at the torso. This part is the largest part of the body, so you want this part first. And for just 10 or 15 minutes, I want you to forget every book you've seen, every other video you've seen, every other instruction that you've seen. Forget that if you can, just for a few minutes, and then try it this way. And if it doesn't work, then go back to the way you think is going to work. But this is going to be the easiest way possible. All right, so again, when you draw, you don't want to start with the head, and you don't want to look at all the muscles and the gear somebody has. You want to get the body first before you put clothes on it, before you put any weapons or gear on it. So first thing you want to look at is this oval piece right here. So I'm going to draw this. It's just a circle. Everybody can draw these things. All right, I want to get it darker because I got a white background with my white paper so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, you don't want to make it too big. So we're going to break this apart down. Once you get that oval for this torso, there's always going to be a line where the stomach is. All right, you want to do that because if he's leaning, that line is going to be leaning as well. If that person is straight, that line is going to be straight. If that person is turned to the side, that line is going to be turned to the side. That's your center line. Okay, so whenever you look at a picture and you want to draw that, these are the first two steps, 1, 2. So that's going to be the center line. If he's tilting, like he's got that arm up, so his collarbone is right here. So you want to do a tilt. And you're not trying to be perfect. Don't think that every drawing has to be perfect and you're going to put it up in an art gallery somewhere. You need to get some cheap paper so that you can do some rough sketches and throw it away. Or you can keep that just to learn by, but don't think that every time you pick up a pencil, You have to draw something to go and show somebody. You have to learn first. All right, so we have this and we have this. Let me get my book back. The page is coming out, and this is on Amazon, this Action Pose 360 book. And I've got poses. Basically, it's like the same pose, just turned in different directions. Because this is what I'm trying to teach you, not to be able to have to depend on somebody else's picture to, always draw. And these are the bonus pages. These are the actual positions that are actually turned around from different angles. Because like I said, if you want to draw this, but you don't want this arm that high, you want to put it lower, you want to turn it more, you'll have to be able to see the body parts to do that. So let me get to this. This page is coming out. Let me take this page out because I've gotten multiple books and I always use this. So, Brian, you tore your book. No, the page was coming out. Like I say, these are the shapes that you're going to be using and putting around. And this is your torso shape right here. It's just the oval. And it's got the center line. All right, so let me put this over here. So he's leaning. Now underneath that, you're gonna have, let's work with the arms first. Let's do the arms. All right, so right here and right here, you have your delts, which are these right here. And these are just represented by circles, and these are going to roll around on those circles. Give me an example. And I'm going to try to rush this. I'm not going to try to have this too long, but I want it to be understood. And these are examples. So this is your delt right here. Okay, this is that ball. This is that ball right here. Pencil down. This is your arm. This is the first part of your arm. This is your bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep. Okay, right here. This is the first part. All right, now it's going to roll on this delt. If it's straight down, it's going to be like this. If I'm going to bring it up in front of me, like I'm going to aim a gun at you, it's going to be like that. If I'm going to put it straight over my head, like I'm getting robbed and putting my hands up, it's going to be like that. If it's going to go in front of me, it's going to be like that. So you see that it is just rolling around on this ball. So the hard part is drawing this, okay, which is still simple. All right, so with him, we have this ball. So on the end of this line, which is your collarbone, which is going to be right here, and understand you're going to have your shoulders on top of that. But since he's bent, you're not going to see too much shoulder. So you're going to have a ball right here. I don't want to get too big because his hand has got to go there. You're going to have a ball there, and you're going to have a ball there. And it's always like that for shoulders. Shoulders are some of the hardest thing for people to draw because we draw from, well, just let me, I don't have a toy real quick. So let me just grab this guy here. I had to cover him up because he's got some private parts and I don't want to be banned by YouTube. We always draw toys, and toys just go straight up and straight down. They don't give us what we need. Let's use the big guy. The big guy's over here. They go up, but this part does not move. The actual shoulder part does not move, but the arms just slide up and down. And so we draw from these action figures that we might have, and we don't know how the shoulders work because the shoulders don't work on the action figure. So, but that's another story. I have videos on how to draw shoulders. So we have that. So anytime you draw a character, that collarbone is going to be like this, like this. Just put that ball right on the end of it. Okay, that's how it is because the collarbone comes right over top of that. It's like that. And this is, I'm almost off camera, almost. And it's just like that little justice, how that little justice scale is. Just think about that. All right, I drew on my paper. I'm going to have to erase this because the head has got to go there. I'll try not to do that again. I'll use another piece of paper for example. All right, so we have this, we have that. All right, so now the arms are going to be the cylinders, which I just showed you here. So there's going to be these cylinders right here. All right, so that's like this. And the moment you raise up a cylinder, you're going to see the inside of it. Raising it up from the front. If you raise it up from the back, you won't, but you'll see it from camera angle. So you're going to put that cylinder on. So that cylinder for this it's going to be an oval. You can either use ovals or cylinders for the arms, and depending on the angle of the arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cylinder, and as I said, when you put that cylinder on that ball and move it, rotate it, remember, see this circle in the back? That tells me it's coming towards me. If I show it the opposite way, it means it's going away from me. All right, so I'm going to do this. This is going to be the cylinder right here. That cylinder, and it's going to be, my angles is going to be different. That cylinder is going to be down. It's not that far. Okay, and I'm going to draw the entire cylinder. Just simple shape like that. So this part we're going to use as a triangle. Now, this is a triangle, but you're going to chop it off where your wrist is. These are going to be triangles because it's fatter here. I'll use my own arm. It's fatter here than it is here. So the best shape for that is a triangle. So we got that. So if I do a triangle, a real triangle, it's going to be like this. I'm trying to stay with the angle of this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and make the whole triangle. All right, this is going to be a little off from this because I'm drawing slow. When I draw fast, I'm more loose. So same thing here. This arm is going back. So just what I just showed you with that example, this arm is going to go back, and then let's put the ball here. A lot of times they say put the ball here. I never put the ball there, but for beginners, you can do that, put the ball there, because again, you have your delts, which is this part here, and your elbows can be represented as a ball too, because it's going to roll around on that ball. Okay, the ball's not going to really move, just the cylinder is going to move. So this one is going back, so I'm going to put a triangle right here. And I'm going to try to keep these straight without giving them some curves to it, because you can put the curves in later. And then let's just put a square for the hand, just a square for right now. All right, so I'm going to straighten this out a little bit more. Now we have his waist. Okay, we have the torso, you have his waist, then you have the hips, like any drawing figure. And let me take one quick second to grab this guy. I have been buying action figures since I retired. I don't know why. I think I bought like 6 so far. They haven't really arrived yet, but still. I know how to draw. I don't need the figures, but I see them and I buy them. I don't know why. Okay, again, we have the torso, round. You're going to have a waist here, and then you're going to have the, what is that? You know me. I keep forgetting the hips. Thank you. For some reason, I forget my parts, what they're called. Okay, so we have the center line, and the center line is going to go all the way down. So when I get to this, I'll explain that. Okay, so the hips are just going to be, his hips are round, just like a small cylinder, or would that become a ring? So we're going to go down here, and it's just going to be like this, okay? It can be a rectangle. If it's straight on line, if you see that this is a cylinder, but if you see it straight, and it's straight across, up and down, you could think it was a rectangle, except for the lighting and the shading, which makes it look round, but it's the exact shape as a rectangle. Only when if I drew this, you would say, oh, he just drew a rectangle. But if I started to put a curve into it, you would say, okay, that's a cylinder, because I turned it around. So this could be rectangle until you turn it and you start seeing that there's a hole through it. All right, so he's tilted down, so a balance thing means he's going to twist into that. He's going to tilt into this cylinder, which is a ring, I guess you can be. Now, I call this the hips, the upside down house. When we're first young, we always know how to draw. That's one of the first things we always draw as a house. We just, because, you know, you live in a house, or you drive past houses, you walk past houses. We know how to draw a house. So if you flip it upside down, it's an upside down house. That represents again, the hips. So upside down house, very simple. Now, whenever there's the point, that's going to be the tip of the roof, okay? So wherever that line, your center line comes from, it's going to come down right into your waist and then go down into your hips. And wherever it is, it's going to be the center. If your roof is not there, then you're off. So just adjust where your roof point is going to be, like that. All right, so if you look at this, you see that we are getting somewhere, and it looks pretty good just by using these simple shapes. Now let's do this hand here. So this hand is going to be, if you take these fingers off, you have a square. Where's my example paper? You have, let me just draw it real quick. Palm, thumb, and the fingers. That's a square underneath all of that. So just do the square for now. All right, so now you have your legs. You have your legs, right? Each leg is the same. It's going to be the same as the arm. Simple, same as the arm, except it's in reverse. You see, you have the ball here, you have the cylinder here, you have the ball here, and you have the triangle here. This would be the triangle. So you have the cylinder here, which I use because the legs are round, more rounder and thicker. I'll use an oval most of the time, but either way. And you have the ball, and then you have the triangle. It's just reversed. And then some people use the ball right here because this leg actually just roll around on that ball. I don't use the ball because when I actually start doing shape to it, adding shape to it, then it fits and makes sense. Slide this over a little bit. So we have one oval because it's more round. Anytime you look at the legs, it's going to be more round, but you can use a cylinder, which I think I'm going to do too. So it's going to be a oval cylinder. It's going to be a fat oval cylinder. So like this. As I said, my angle is going to be a little off because I'm drawing slow. So first I want to start off with that oval, okay? And then if I need to, we'll see, since his leg is going this way, oval, since his leg is going this way, you're not going to see where that ball would be for the knee. If it was turned, you would see it. So I'm going to chop that off because this is round, but I'm going to chop it off right here. And then I'm going to put that ball here. And then I'm going to put the triangle underneath that ball here. Come on, make a bigger triangle. And you don't have to start out. This is not, as I said, this is not for you to rush to the art gallery or call your friends over and have a party and show the picture. This is for you to learn. That's all it is. The foot, if you can see that, I'm running out of black ink, so it's hard to see this. This is why I put the white background. But that foot is just a triangle itself, a half a triangle itself. Flathead, don't run out of ink on me now. I've been using you to death. And you go up like this, and you go up like that. So that's half of a triangle, right? So if I had the other part of the triangle, it would be like this. Hopefully you can see that. So basically my drawing, my example paper, come back. You're having, just like the roof of the house, you're splitting it in half. Basically you're stretching it. They don't teach you this stuff. They didn't teach me this stuff in school. I had to learn this stuff myself by looking at it because I was so frustrated because I could not get the anatomy right. And then I finally started breaking it down piece by piece by piece. If you look at other videos, and I hate to really dog other people's videos, you know, because a lot of people are getting, you know, 5 times the views that I'm getting. But what they do, look at it and listen to what I'm saying. Look at it. What they'll say is how to draw a hand or whatever. And then they'll start to draw a hand. And then they will talk about, you know, their experiences with art and what they use and blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the video, ask yourself, can you draw that hand that he just drew or she just drew? Because these people, they're like on their computer, or they're just really good at it. I'm not dogging their work. They are really good at what they do, but they are showing you how they draw a hand or how they draw a this or how they draw. They don't teach you, because if at the end of the video, if you can't do what they just did, they didn't teach you anything. That's just like me saying, I'm gonna teach you how to drive. Come on, we're gonna get in the car and I'll teach you how to drive. I get in the driver's seat and I drive you around the expressway for like an hour, and then I'm just talking to you about how much this car costs and how I like to drive fast and so forth. Then we get home, I'm like, okay, now you know how to drive. You never touched the steering wheel. I didn't tell you anything about the road, the speed limit or the conditions of the road and what you do if this happens or that happens. And it just really frustrates me when I see these videos of people teaching or supposedly teaching you how to draw something or how to do something, and they don't teach you. So, that's my rant for now. That was like a 3-minute rant, I guess, when I should have been drawing. All right, so the next leg, we're going to do that oval again, which can turn into a cylinder if you choose, but it's just fat right here, so it would be more of a triangle. But because the leg is meaty, I like to just do the oval. And you can do an oval the same way as a cylinder. You just do your oval, and then you put your opening like this in your oval, kind of like almost a stretched out olive, and there's your opening right there, which could be for the ball, and then you can put the triangle, however, below that, and then you have your leg, and then you put your other half a triangle right there, and then you have a bent leg for running or whatever, climbing stairs or whatever. But it's simple when you use shapes. All right, back to that. So I'm going to put my circle right here, and then we're going to do the triangle right there. Come on, Brian, draw off that triangle. All right, so we basically have that shape, all right, minus a couple factors. So we have my triangle right here for the foot. And when you start drawing, I want you to notice things like, where is one knee compared to the other knee? Like I say, where is the tilt in the body? How where is the hand located from the top of the head? And that way you can start measuring and drawing stuff better. This one, I'm just drawing just the shapes to show you the shapes. So if I'm drawing the front of the foot again is a triangle. This is the side of the foot right here, half triangle. The front of the foot is another half triangle. Okay, here's my triangle. Split this in half, stretch this out a little bit. So if this is my leg right here, this is my knee, here is my shin, my calf and my shin. This other foot, this side, turn around, it's gonna be my left leg, yeah. So I'm gonna bring it straight down, this is the foot, left leg, and then out. If that foot is straight in front of me, if they're standing on the ground, it's gonna be flat like that. Now, if I want to kind of go over it, I got my man, I'm looking at this foot right now. Okay, so if you look at the foot, it's flat. You wouldn't see the bottom. But if I go, or if I tilt it a little bit, then it would become round, whereas this one is flat on the bottom. This one has more of a round because he would be, either the camera would be a little above him or the ground would be a little slopey, I guess. I don't know what the word is right now. So if I didn't want to make it flat, I would just make it a little rounder. And a lot of times that makes it look better, makes the picture look better, because you're just a little hair, the camera is just a little hair above that person. All right, so this one, I'm gonna put the half triangle because the inside of your leg is flat. When you come down, it's gonna be flat, and then the outside has the triangle part. So it's gonna be flat, and it's gonna be out like that. But I'm gonna tilt this down because he's leaning, he's on that rock. So this is going to come down and it's going to be flat. This is going to come out and it's going to be flat on the ground like that. All right. So now let's get this head and then we'll get into some shapes real quick. I want to make this video not too long. So you come up because this is a curve. This has got to be curved too. And this is a circle. So it's got to be a circle. So you're just drawing a ball. I got this ball here. You're just drawing a ball straight in front of you. But if you have a ball, and I marked this, which is not going to be a good example for me, and you wanted to make that circle into a ball, you'd have to curve that line. Even though that's a flat picture, it looks like a ball because you see these curved lines. Same thing for this. It's got to be curved, and you got to remember. So this is going to come up here. What I'm going to do is what's left over right here, I'm going to bring my neck up. Remember, we're doing the center line all the way up. I'm going to bring it up. I'm not going to tilt it. I'm going to bring it up. And it depends on what the head of the picture looks like. So I'm going to bring it up. And then I'm going to do this triangle. Again, triangle. We all can do triangles because that's just the letter A. That's just the letter A. If you write English letters, then you can do that. All right, so from this point right here, this is the center of the collarbone. Let me use the big guy because he doesn't have any genitalia to get me points knocked off of YouTube. You come up here, you have that collarbone right here. All right, so from the side, we're going to have a V. This is going to be a V right up to the collarbone. All right, so this is how you start the neck. It's going to be a V like this. And I just want to say, a lot of people don't have patience. And that's why they look at these videos that don't teach you nothing that's 10 minutes long. And they're like, ooh, you can draw, but you can't draw. You got to have the patience. That's why class, when you go to school, class is not 10 minutes long. Because I used to hate school. I hated that. So, okay, so from here, you're doing this. And that's almost like doing the upside down house once again. So when these come to this point, you go straight up. And that depends on where the head is. So I'm going to draw the head. So the head is oval. So his head is closer to his shoulder over here, which I can do better, but I'm just showing you the basics right now. So let me do this. Let me do a head. And let me get like the right size head. And the head is just another oval. And because it's leaning over, this neck is going to be longer here than it is here. Okay. Now his chest is more up and his arm is more up, which I can fix. I might fix it just to fix it. But from here, at this simple point right here, you have a great, what is the word? Where's the word? I can't think of it. I don't know. My brain is cutting out on here. It's not form. You have the simple, is it form? We'll just use the word form for now. You have a great form, and I'll think of it, to start drawing your character, okay? So like I said, the shoulder is back a little bit now. The one thing that it does plague me still, when I was drawing from little action figures, I never, when you turn your figure, let's use the big guy again because he's more visible. When you turn your figure, I would always draw my shoulders on the outside. No matter how much you turn, I always draw my shoulders on the outside. Example. Here's your torso. Here's your center line. Here is your collarbone. I would always draw my shoulders on the outside of this part of the torso. But when the torso turns, that shoulder comes in more. Here's the collarbone. That shoulder is going to come in more when you turn that body. And that was one of the hardest things for me to understand because, as I say, we always draw from, these things here that shoulders don't really work. The shoulders just are stable. And the arms have just limited mobility. This thing is $100. So it's got like great mobility. And they have come out with some more that has even more better mobility. And I guess that's why I keep buying these things. Yeah, so whenever the body is turned, just remember that whenever the body is turned, if that center line is not in the middle, if it's in the middle, your delts are going to be right here on the side. And these are your deltoid muscles. When it turns, it's naturally going to turn in with the body. From the side, from the front, get your delt. And as you turn, they turn as well, and they actually go into the chest. Okay, so they're not like way out here like they would have been if I was drawing back in the day. So, like I did this one, but this was the start. So now that I have got the body, the form, did I say the form? Was it the form? I guess the form, because that's the word I was looking for. Now that the form is right, I have to bring this in more like this. When I'm trying to get perfect, but this is the start of what you need to be doing because, you got this, around this, halfway down, you can put the chest. Remember, this is a ball. This is that ball. Halfway down, you can put the chest. And then when you do the stomach, do a mountain, like it's upside down mountain, or do a V. And that V is going to go right. The top of that V or mountain is going to go on this point and down. Not all the way to the side, but how can I say, in a little bit more. You're gonna have to have room for your glove handles, so it's not gonna go all the way in for you beginners. Let me get a sip of water real quick, which happens to be right here, because this is first thing in the morning. I just got out of bed, and usually when I wake up, I'll have ideas of what videos to draw. So I will start drawing before breakfast, before exercise, before anything. Sorry, ice in my mouth. Yeah. So we're not going to really get into details about muscles today, not too much, but that's for another video. So again, because this is not straight, it turned, so this delt has to come over a little bit more, and I'm going to correct. If I have my big eraser, I'm going to correct. I would like to correct if I have my big eraser, which I don't see. Oh well, use a little one, wherever it is. I'm going to correct the mistakes from here. All right, so we have this oval, we have this, which is up. So this is going to go up. And remember, wherever this is, it's going to go over top of that ball. Okay, it's going to go over top of that ball. Then we're going to have that cylinder. It's going to go down a little bit, but this cylinder is not that long because it turned, which makes it shorter. The distance between this point and this point, when you turn it, it gets, I'm trying to keep it under the camera, it gets very short. The more you turn it, the shorter it gets until it almost can be considered a ring. All right. And so, like I said, so I'm going to do this back part, and I'm going to do this front part like that. And then same thing with the cone. I actually have this for examples as well. The cone, same thing. When you see it from the back, you're going to see that opening. When you see it from the front, you're going to see that small tip. So if I'm doing the cone like this, and it's going to go up like this, there's my cone. And I'm, like I said, you see how this circle is? That tells me it's going forward. And wherever that is, I'm going to chop it off where that wrist is, like that. I'm going to chop it off. Just plain and simple, like that. And then again, have my hand here. All right, so again, the form is even better. So you keep looking at it, you keep looking, and I can say, okay, that head needs to be down further, that this, had to go this way, or that has to go that way. But that's not for this video. This video is to show you the basic shapes to get the form right, number one, and as close as possible. If you're trying to draw the picture exactly, you should not want to draw, once you get older, let's put it that way, you shouldn't be drawing exactly. Just, it's good to do, it's good to know, but once you get it to the point where you can draw stuff exactly, start shifting the arm around. Like I say, you might not want that arm there, you might want that arm down. So you put that cylinder here, and you put that other, triangle. Actually, it's a cone. If I've been saying triangle, I'm sorry, it's a cone. You might want to put that cone right here. And this is how you start moving your stuff. I'm not changing any of the legs or the hips or something. I am just moving stuff around. Where's my ball? Is that what fell? Something fell. No. Yeah, it did. I'm just moving. This is kind of staying the same. I'm just moving this around to whatever position that I want to change that. This is why I'm not going to really do any muscles. So if I wanted the arm to go more behind, I would put that cylinder behind. Because of the angle, it's going to be shorter. It's hard for me to, because my camera's above. It's going to be shorter, so it's just going to be like this. This is that cylinder. It's going to be on that ball. Ball's not moving. Cylinder is moving. Okay, so this is the arm straight down. So when I bring that arm back on camera, remember, it's going to be really short, but you're going to get this piece of a circle right here. So it's going to be like this. So, I mean, if I drew the whole thing, and I'll do that next video when I'll use two colors, do two colors for each piece. It's going to be like that. And then I might put my triangle up here. And then I have my fist like that. So there are I know it looks like a four-arm character, But there are a million variations you can do by just moving your cylinders and your cones. If I said triangle again, I'm sorry, it's a cone. And then you put your hand here. So I'm going to do a quick ink on this He-Man position. And then that's going to be it for this video. So, okay, again, I have my cylinder, right? That's going to go into my waist, and this is going to be more detailed because I know the anatomy and I'm showing you guys. It's going to go, this is my love handle or my hip, and it can go down into the waist, upside down house. So I'm putting it all together now, you know, instead of having the ball, I'm putting an extra skin over that ball. So I'm having this is going to go up right here from the chest. That arm is going to be, it comes down a little bit. So we'll curve that around because this is the ball, remember. So it's going to go down here. Is that cylinder? This is that triangle. Triangle, I said triangle, I'm sorry, cone. Cone. This is that hand because the wrist is going to come around like that. So you would see the open of that cone. Cone, yes, cone. And then I have the hand right here. Fingers right here. This is my square. And this is just a quick because time-wise. We've got this one coming back here. Here's my chest right here. Here is part of that delt or that ball. This is my arm right here. I'm going to round that off now. And that is, it's going to cut right here because if there's a ball right here, then you'd see that back cone. But I'm adding some shape to that cone. Cut it off where the wrist is. You have the hand right here, which is just a bunch of squares, really, bunch of squares. Rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. Sword is in the hand. The thigh, make it thick like that, and it's going to go into the knee the same way it is like this. It's going to go in, and then it's going to go back out for the shin and calf. Same thing here. I'm fighting to not to do muscles. It's going to go in for the knee. And the one thing about the knee goes, like if you look at this, it's going to go right to the ankle. His ankle is about right here. This piece of meat that goes around the knee, I don't know what this is. If this is the knee, what is this? Realistically, it's kind of off muscle-wise, but I'm not judging. This goes, and it goes around, and it goes to the ankle. It's kind of like where your bone is, that shin bone is, and then you have your calf right here. So it's going to go like this in and into the ankle, and then you're going to have that inner calf like this. And then you're going to have your foot down, half a triangle, like I said. So we've got the cone here. Move the He-Man so you can see it. Cone, that's not a cone, that's an oval. Oval. And then you have your knee, which is just basically just squared out. I did a video on knees. Knees are kind of weird. And then you have the calf right here, and it goes down. And again, that's just your cone. And then you have your half a triangle for the foot. I got that, and you have your what's left because he's got this strap on in his chest. So He-Man's got a big strap in the chest. So let's redo that head just a little bit, just for the sake of redoing it. And putting it. Remember, I'm saying always judge where something is lined, when things are lined up, and that would help you draw the picture more exact. So his head is right here. So his chin is going to be about right there. Is that thunder? You might not have heard it. Because his chin is really close to his delt. So I'm going to put it right here. So his neck is going to be here, and you get that shoulder right there. And that was just a simple change to get it closer to the picture. And this is why I say draw the head last, draw the head dead last if you can. If you need to put it up there, just do an oval first and then you come back later. But if I had drawn detail in the face and got his mouth right and his eyes right, I'd have been mad if I had to change that. So there you have it. Get him a little He-Man sword. And like I say, everything is a shape. Everything is just a shape. I'm trying to grab something that has a lot of shape to it. That's just right there at my desk, right here at my drawing table. And if you see everything for its shape, it makes it easier. Yeah, that's a weird shot. It makes it easier to draw anything, capital anything. I don't have something that's got a lot of shape to it. Okay, let's look at this. This is just weird. Okay, this is just, you know, if you can pick out the shapes now, circle, and that's more of a oval chopped off. This is just like a half of a circle. You know, it's, if you look at it this way, it could be looked at as a rectangle, except for the shading, which you know because you've seen it this way, that it goes around. Grab this ruler. This ruler just, you know, just depending on the angle you see, but from, if you learn how to draw all your shapes, square, circle, triangle, and you move them, twist and turn them, then there's nothing that you cannot draw. So this can be just a rectangle, which has a little angle, and, you know, like going to a triangle. Yeah, and just round cylinder in the middle of it. So like I said, I'm sorry I didn't have anything with some good intricate shapes that I could break down. But that's going to be it for this video. This is a 41-minute video. It's usually, my teaching videos usually like 30 to 40, 50 minutes. So that's going to be it. As I said, just use your basic shapes. I think what I have like 20, what I said, I think like 25 pieces, and they're just all circles, rectangles, you know, cones, triangles. Simple, simple, simple. They don't teach you this stuff in school, and nobody teaches you this stuff on YouTube. This is why I decided to make my YouTube channel, because nobody's teaching you this stuff. So this is really, really close to this. Just using those shapes that I did, I adjusted the head. That was about the majorest part, and, you know, tilted the arm a little bit. And then, you know, playing around. Like I said, I'm not going to call anybody and say, hey, come look at my, you know, my beautiful picture. Because like I said, this is just going to go in the trash. That's all. This is just going to go in the trash. And, you know, and it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience. And this is what I do. I kind of keep rambling, and then my videos get really long. So, but as an artist, you know, just like if you're an artist, you know, you love to draw, you love to do things, and you love to keep on drawing, keep on drawing. Maybe my dry throat is telling me I need to just end this video now. So basically, there you go. There's your He-Man. I'll buff him up a little bit more, make his, you know, this bigger and that bigger. But yeah, messed up my example. So anyway, that's gonna be it for this video, because if I don't end it now, I'll keep drawing it. It'll be like a 50-minute video. So now you know how easy it is to draw. Now you know, like I say, whatever book you might have learned from, and whatever other teaching you may have learned from, see if this one is better. If not, go back to the way you learn. And if it is better for you, if you say to yourself, oh my God, that's so easy, continue to look at my channel. Continue to look at my videos, because each video is basically based on this, the simplest possible way to learn to draw anything. All right, so that's going to be it. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what I was going to say. So yeah. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Tell me, was that easy? Was it a little hard? Let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Yes, I'm going to break this down even more. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video.